Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you'll be applauding it as enthusiastically at the end when you've heard what I've got to say. And thank you for joining me on my birthday. I hope somebody brought a cake big enough for all of us. And before anybody says anything, yes, I know it'd have to be big for all the candles that would be on it. Now, I'm not just here today because it's my birthday. Today, I'm announcing my candidacy for the party leadership. And some might regard this as a pointless position or a poisoned chalice. I do not. I regard it as something well worth fighting for. I want to be leader because I have a deep personal commitment to the values of freedom and responsibility for which we stand. And I want to be leader because I believe what we stand for is of profound importance. Of profound importance to our supporters, of course, but also of profound importance to our country. Because Scotland is dominated by a sterile conflict between two left-of-centre parties, Labour and the SNP. And this is selling our country short. Scotland needs a strong, progressive, centre-right party to challenge this consensus, to articulate and stand up for the values which are shared by many people throughout Scotland. Because I believe passionately that it is our values which offer the best hope for Scotland's future prosperity and well-being. So as leader, my aim will be simple: to ensure that our values are once again at the heart of political debate here in Scotland. I've been involved in the Scottish Conservative and Unionist Party for many years, as a volunteer, as chairman of the Young Conservatives, as a member of the Scottish Parliament for 10 years as of today, and for the last 5.5 years as deputy leader. And I don't need to tell anybody in this room that we've had good times and bad. I was involved during the 1980s and early 1990s when we were winning. But like Conservatives across Scotland, I bear the scars on my back from the difficult times we've had over the past 15 years. Results have changed, but my passion has remained constant. My pride in what we stand for will always remain constant. But let us not confuse pride with stubbornness or passion with blindness. We can change. We must change. And if we take the right decisions, if we move in the right direction, then we can ensure that it is our values which will shape Scotland's future in a stronger United Kingdom in the years to come. So where do we start? By being realistic and honest about our position. It has been 14 years since we were obliterated in 1997. Since then, we've had strong and intelligent leadership from both David McCletchie and Annabel Goldie. They have both been wonderful servants of our party and achieved much in their time in office in difficult times. And for my part, it has been an honour and a privilege to serve under both of them. But the Scottish election of 5th May 2011 must be a line in the sand. We were reduced to just over 12% on the regional vote. We should not look for excuses. We should not use the SNP landslide as a shield to protect us from our own shortcomings. Our supporters and members are deeply disillusioned. They are tired. They are fed up of fighting, fed up of losing. I understand their feelings. I share their feelings. They want to start winning again, and so do I. But we won't start winning until we understand why we keep losing. And the reason is that our party, in its current state, is not fit for purpose. It hasn't changed. So we must recognize that change is no longer an option, but a necessity. Now is the time to face the truth. It is a brutal truth, but it is the truth. And it is that the Scottish Conservative and Unionist Party is failing. It is failing as a vehicle for the promotion of the values we stand for. And it will never succeed in its current form. A clear contradiction undermines everything we say and do. We are a party which believes in devolving power to people. but we haven't devolved power to ourselves. And make no mistake, this absence of power is putting the Union at risk because it prevents us from carving out a distinctively Scottish unionist position. So in this leadership election, I want to make it absolutely clear the direction in which I wish to take this party. That's why today I'm announcing that if I am elected leader of the party, I will build a new and stronger party for Scotland. A new party, a winning party, with supporters from all walks of life, a new belief in devolution, a new name, and most importantly of all, a positive message about the benefits of staying in and strengthening the United Kingdom. A new party, a new unionism, a new dawn. And for those people who think this is a leap in the dark, let us remember that our most successful electoral period came before 1965. We were not the Conservative Party then. We were a party which had a distinct Scottish identity. And in 1955, I don't want to cast aspersions looking around the room, but there may be some people here who remember 1955. In 1955, we gained the only absolute majority of votes in Scotland in the period of modern democracy. So this new party will take us back to our roots. The message from the Sanderson Commission was clear. We need to reverse the centralising trend in our party. Now, I applaud the Sanderson Commission for its excellent work, and I will build on its recommendations. We will rejuvenate our party from the grassroots up. We will invest in local organisations. We will give our local parties greater freedom in candidate selection, and we will encourage genuine policy debate at our conferences. And my goodness, not before time. And we will... And we will enhance the role of our local councillors as standard bearers for the party at a local level. In short, we will become an open and attractive organisation that people think is worth joining, donating to, supporting, and most importantly, voting for. Now, I am under no illusion about the scale of the change I am proposing, or the fact that this might not be universally popular within the party. There will be some in the party, perhaps even some of my colleagues, perhaps even some people in this room today, who will say, this is heresy, who will say, I am risking the future of the Scottish Conservative and Unionist Party. I say to them, with complete clarity and conviction, there is no future for the Scottish Conservative and Unionist Party in its current form. Our vote has continued to slip as we convinced ourselves things would get better, but they didn't. Now, this will be difficult for people to accept. It is an emotional wrench for all of us. We have all worked for years, for decades, for the Scottish Conservative and Unionist Party. But that work will be wasted if we cannot transform ourselves into a winning party. We have not failed as individuals, but our party has. At the minute, we know we are doing precious little to help the UK Conservative Party form a government at Westminster. Indeed, we are far more of a hindrance than a help. I fully support the excellent work being done by David Cameron, George Osborne, and the coalition government to clear up Labour's mess, particularly the horrendous legacy of debt. They are taking the tough decisions necessary to safeguard the future of people across Scotland and throughout the UK as a whole. But instead of merely offering words of support, I want to be able to offer more practical help. And that will only happen if we send more MPs to Westminster. Yes, they will be the representatives of our new Scottish centre-right party, but they will continue to take the Conservative whip at Westminster. And we will continue to share fundamental centre-right values and a common approach to many issues. But we will not hesitate to champion the Scottish national interest in areas such as fishing or the future of our historic army regiments, even if that means a disagreement or two with our colleagues in the UK Conservative Party, and I make no apology for that whatsoever. Now, of course, there will be a predictable reaction to all this from our political opponents, and we've heard this all before. Same old Tories, they'll say. All you're doing is changing the sign on the office, but inside they're the same people with the same policies. I say to them, this time you're wrong. This is not simply a rebranding exercise. This is not PR or spin. This will be a new party with a completely new approach. A party which embraces the values that many Scots hold dear. A party which offers a home to the many people of across Scotland who want a progressive centre-right party they can vote for. But it is up to us to convince people of this, to prove these are not just words. So how do we do it? We can start with our attitude toward the union. And let me be clear that strengthening the union will be at the heart of everything I do. We know the union faces a serious threat. The referendum on the future of the United Kingdom will be the central issue in Scottish politics over the next few years. And let me say this. If Alex Salmond really believed his own message, he would put his money where his mouth is and have a single question referendum. No second question, no Salmond cop-out. Independence, yes or no. We can kill independence and we can break the SNP.